everybody, Jason here. I just got a few topics I want to go over, and people don't want to watch the 30-minute video, so I'm going to make these really quick. Just a couple of things. First one being, I wanted to talk real quick about mixing African and American cichlids. I got kicked out of a group because of it. I posted a video of this tank and some lady went freaking ape crap all over it, and when I defended myself, they freaking kicked me out. I don't freaking care. But I just want to say something real quick about, if you are a beginner, I don't recommend mixing them. Can you mix them? Yes and no. In my experience, mixing African and American cichlids is pretty much the same as mixing Africans and Africans and Americans and Americans. You never know if you're going to get one really aggressive fish or they're all peaceful. Back in Arizona, I had a 75-gallon tank. I had a big male convict. He got about that big, almost 5 inches. I had a Venestus. He got about 8 inches. I had a blue ollie in there. I had a firemouth in there, a jewel in there, and about 4 of these Mbunas. I had a red zebra, a couple of Kenyes, I think one of the albino ones, and the yellow lab. I think I even had a little Oscar in there for a while. And they all got along. In my experience, the bigger these guys get, the more they actually calm down a little bit. But that was a 75-gallon tank. This is a 40-gallon. I mean, don't get me wrong, these guys will chase each other around a little bit, but they're not trying to kill each other yet. And as you can see, my female convict, she's completely fine. But when I put these in here, one of her baby convicts wanted nothing to do with these African cichlids. She was going crazy. The little baby convict was going crazy chasing him around, did not like it. I had to get rid of that fish. So there's always going to be territorial issues, whether it's an American cichlid or an African cichlid. Now, so if you're a beginner, I don't recommend doing this. If you've been in the hobby for a while, you probably don't even need to watch this video. But, so mixing them, it's hit and miss. It's like mixing any cichlid. You never know which ones you're going to get. When I put them in here, the only fish in here was my female convict and her baby. The baby went freaking crazy, had to get rid of it, and the female convict, she was cool. And all these other Mbunas, and I think the peacock is a hap, they're pretty much fine with each other. I got them all at PetSmart at the same time, put them all in the tank at the same time, and in my experience, that's also another good way to do it, throw them all in at the same time. I actually went back to PetSmart the next day because they had one more DeMasoni, because it was so pretty I wanted to get the other one and they were on sale, but when I put it in here, this DeMasoni tried to kill it. So you can say, and he's starting to be a little bit aggressive, so you can say don't mix Africans and Americans, but I put another African in there and an African tried to kill an African. You know, they're cichlids. They're freaking crazy. So it depends on the fish's personality, the size of the tank. You got enough hiding spaces for them, what size are they? I mean, it's hit and miss. When I had my 75-gallon and I had all those big ones, I went through a lot of different fish before I found the group that could tolerate each other. So, can you mix them? Yes and no. You can. Will they fight? Sometimes. It just depends on the fish and the personality. With that being said, the reason some people flip out over this is they think American and African cichlids are supposed to have different water parameters, different water quality, different water parameters. Which brings me to my next point. This is why I shop at PetSmart. And I will admit that. I shop at PetSmart. I'm not going to recommend going to every PetSmart. There are some horrible PetSmarts. The one that I go to is pretty well, their whole fish area is pretty well maintained. Now, these fish that you buy at PetSmart, they are raised in a fish farm. I mean, this is all Myoratus does all day, is swimming back and forth on the glass. He's about at least 2 inches. A 2-inch cichlid, 2.5-inch Mbuna over at PetSmart is a fairly big fish to get that size at PetSmart. So think about this, okay? They're raised in a fish farm. They're kept in a freaking PetSmart tank till they're about an inch and a half. Do you really think their PetSmart's water quality is really any better or worse than yours? What I mean is, you buy some of those fish, you take them home in your already cycled aquarium. You don't need to replicate their natural water habitat. Aside from the decoration, if you get cichlids, you want to have rocks and stuff, which I do. But as far as like the pH and all this stuff, they're going to do fine. If they can survive a fish farm, being shipped to PetSmart, hanging out in a PetSmart tank for a freaking month till somebody buys it, they're going to thrive in a well-cycled tank. Now, if you were going to go down and actually catch African cichlids in Lake Malawi with a net, fly over to Africa and get a net and catch these and put them in your tank, you're probably going to have some problems. But buying them at PetSmart, all the fish are on the same filtration, and I've seen people even complain about that, get mad at PetSmart because, oh, you shouldn't have neon tetras on the same filtration as cichlids. Like, they're all raised in fish farms. Chill out. Okay. So I hope I made my point clear on there. I've always shopped at PetSmart. They're easy to take care of fish. If you want to shop at your local fish store, a lot of those, I'm not saying don't shop there. Shop at your local mom and pop fish store. Their fish are probably a better quality. They probably have them on different filtrations, but you're probably going to have to set up your tank a certain way to mimic the water quality that they were in. So if you're going to do that, keep that in mind. But that's the beauty of shopping at PetSmart. If the fish can take a PetSmart filtration system, it's probably going to be pretty good in your tank as long as you have it set up good. Okay, done with that subject. Okay, water changes. I've seen a lot of people do water changes and they'll stick their hose in there and just siphon out a bunch of water and put water back in. That just irks me. If you're going to do a water change, gravel vac the water change. Which, use your gravel vac, suck all the crap out of the rocks and in your cooler, your buckets, whatever you use. Water change your tank that way. This is my opinion from experience. I recommend doing that. You're getting all the crap out of your substrate that can cause high nitrates and things like that. Just sucking out water and putting water back in. I mean, that helps, but you still have all the crap at the bottom. The whole point of doing a water change is to gravel vac it. Water change. Do that. One thing I've heard a lot is, can you clean your aquarium glass with Windex? And people, no, you're going to kill your fish. Okay, if you spray the Windex on your aquarium glass, yeah, you're probably going to kill your fish because the overspray of the ammonia in the Windex is going to get into your water. Don't spray Windex on your tank. Get a paper towel, stand 20 feet away, spray the Windex on your paper towel, then walk over and wipe it. But don't ever spray it. So if you're going to clean your aquarium glass with Windex, stand 20 feet away, spray some Windex on a paper towel, then walk over. Don't ever spray the Windex on your glass, but you can wipe your glass with Windex and a paper towel. If you're doing it forever, it's fine. Okay, so that's pretty much the topics I wanted to cover, just real quick, not a big long song and dance. I do want to go over filtration for some beginners. If I constantly see people, they just use those hang on the back filters with the cartridge you put in there, and that's all they put in there, and then they change the cartridge and their whole tank goes to crap and they wonder why. I'm not talking bad, I feel really bad that it just sucks that you buy those aquarium kits, it comes with a little hang on the back HOB filter and a cartridge, and they don't know you have to have some type of biological media in there that you don't throw out, you don't clean. You can change the cartridges all you want, but you got to have some kind of like lava rock or ceramic media or something. So I think I'm going to go over that on my next video and just dedicate a whole video for that so beginners can understand that. So I'll do a quick update on these. As you can see, these guys are being cool, chasing each other around a little bit. My female over here, they're being kind of shy right now. Oh, here they come. Look like my Demasoni and my... Oh, he's coming up. Anyway, these guys are aggressive. They chase each other around a little bit, but they're doing good. I mean, Every single one of them has all their fins. You know, they have gotten a little bit bigger. I got the North Fin veggie pellets. Oh, they saw the bag. They're like, whoa, what are you doing? Are you gonna feed me? North Fin veggie pellets. They love these. I think these are working out really good. And then I'll show you the Planet Tank real quick. But love the sponge filters. I'm very happy with them. Oh, that was the other thing. That's what I want to tell you. Sponge filters. If you watch my video when I got these sponge filters, I did the whole review video. I bought some of those bubble ones that I cut down to size to put in size because I wanted to make them as long as possible. Do not buy those. They clog up so fast. I've only had these sponge filters going about a month, and those bubble wannabe air stones, they're like cardboard or some type of nylon or something. They clog up real quick. So I just bought, where is it? Where did it go? I think it's just the top fin. Just these little white ones. I'm not sure if you can see them. They got them at PetSmart. It's like $5. You get 5 of them, so it's about $1 a piece. These work really great. I noticed that in my daughter's tank, because she has the beta and the glowfish, I had one of those white ones in there, and I hardly had any bubbles coming out anymore, and hers is just gushing bubbles, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Well, I found out she had one of those white ones, so I put those in there. Problem solved. A lot more filtration. Working really good. Sponge filters, really easy to maintain and clean. Love it. Water changes are a breeze. And now we'll check out the Planet Tank, because I made some changes, and I hope you guys don't yell at me. Alright, I'm not sure how much you guys can see, but I have removed a lot of plants. I have removed my CO2 system, and it's a lot cleaner. Don't worry about all that white stuff on the, that's just microscopic bubbles. It was sitting out of the tank for about an hour when I was cleaning it and put it back in, and it's just releasing the air again. So, the problem I had was I could not, there was just so much algae. And I know I'm supposed to put a lot more plants in there. I just did not want to put any more money into this Planet Tank. I didn't want to keep buying plants, and I mean, they were growing. A lot of the plants were growing. I mean, when I pulled them out, they had a lot of root system, and it was a shame, but it was just too much flipping algae just everywhere. I mean, just too much. So I gravel vacked everything. I took out, I only kept 3 Amazon swords and the Anubias back there. I put root tabs under each one of them, and I'm dosing with the Seachum Flourish. So those should be okay without the CO2 system. We'll see. The other problem I had was a lot of protein buildup on the surface, just because of the way that this was filtering. Having the filter below water over here, and having the air stone, the bubbles right there, I don't get any buildup anymore. It's constant, like twice a week I had to go in there with the cup and skim it off the surface, and that was pissing me off. But I'm liking this. It's definitely, the tank's a lot cleaner, a lot clearer. Without the CO2, I'm not going to have as much algae buildup. And I want to get some more fish. This gold ram is awesome. He's a little bit freaked out from the cleaning that I did earlier, but... And I got that, still got that clown pleco in there somewhere. I thought my fish were showing signs of ick. They had some white spots in the last week and a half, but it seemed to go away. And hopefully this big water change I did today will make a difference. I definitely want to get a few more fish. But yeah, that's a planet. That's I'm keeping the Planet Tank, but I'm not going crazy with it. Just got a few plants in there. No more CO2 system. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I like this tank. Looks pretty cool. Alright, that's the update, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, the Masonite is getting a little frisky. They're definitely getting a little bit bigger. Where's the peacock? There it is. Love that Masonite. Oh, somebody just sent me a message. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any response to anything I went over, feel free to leave them in the comments as always. Thanks for watching.